Xin chào mọi người đã quay trở lại kênh du lịch Cuộc Sống Mỹ cùng Hà Nguyễn ngày hôm nay. Hôm thứ Bảy ngày 1 tháng 2 2025, trên đài truyền hình Fox có post một đoạn ngắn buổi phỏng vấn với đệ nhất phu nhân Mỹ Melania Trump về cái cuốn hồi ký mà bà ấy đã xuất bản tháng 10 2024. Trong cái buổi phỏng vấn thì bà ấy chia sẻ về cuộc đời của bà ấy từ lúc lớn lên ở Slovenia đến khi trở thành người mẫu chuyên nghiệp ở châu Âu, rồi bay đến Mỹ sống và làm việc. Bà đã gặp Tổng thống Donald Trump như thế nào, và sau này trở thành đệ nhất phu nhân của nước Mỹ. Thì trong cái video ngày hôm nay, Hà có dịch cái phụ đề tiếng Việt cho cái buổi phỏng vấn của bà Melania Trump với đài truyền hình Fox. Thì mọi người hãy cùng theo dõi và lắng nghe chia sẻ của bà ấy nha. Nếu mọi người thích cái video này của Hà thì mọi người nhớ bấm like and subscribe để ủng hộ cho cái kênh của Hà nha. Hà cảm ơn mọi người rất là nhiều.
Melania Trump sharing her truth. For the first time in 2 years, the former First Lady opens up about life before, during, and after the White House, from the 2 assassination attempts on her husband.
I got the Secret Service on the phone and they said that he's okay. We are on the way to the hospital.
To the constant scrutiny weeks away from Election Day.
We hear the leaders from the opposition party and mainstream media branding him as a threat to democracy.
And why she's chosen this moment to speak out.
A lot of misinformation and falsehoods written about me, and I want to put the record straight.
Melania holding nothing back, giving a fiercely honest account of what she thinks about the state of our country and our world.
The border is open and dangerous. A lot of fentanyl is coming over, killing our youth. It's very hard to see.
And looking back, what she would have done differently as First Lady.
I think the team around you, it's very important. Very important. They need to have the same vision.
Recounting her childhood in Slovenia, her career in high fashion, and how she met Donald Trump.
I love the vision that he had and the connection that we had, so it was very special.
As a wife, mother, model, immigrant, First Lady, and American, this is Melania Trump in her own words. Why did you want to tell your story in this book?
I believe that it was the time that I tell my story and the truth. It is a lot of misinformation and falsehoods written about me, and I want to put the record straight, and people can learn some things that they were never discussed, and I hope they enjoy the book.
Let's begin with your life growing up in Slovenia, how you became a model, how you ended up in America, becoming a citizen.
Well, I grew up in Slovenia, in a small town, and I started in fashion modeling industry because of my mother. She introduced me to it. She was a fashion designer and constructor, and that's how I started when I was 6 years old. It's explained in the book, and it's from the beginning till I came to New York. Also in between was modeling career in Milan and Paris and around traveling around Europe. So very exciting life.
It looks so glamorous to all of us, but it's hard work.
It is a hard work, and you're always alone, and you're traveling to the cities where you work, and you wake up very early in the morning, you come back home very late at night, and as a young girl or just young woman, you experience a lot of different things, and you grow up very fast.
Yes. What was that like for your parents to say, Mom and Dad, I'm moving to Milan, I'm moving to Paris, now I'm going to move to America?
They were very supportive. Every time they came to visit me, and I'm glad I had them in my corner because I I paused my studies. So I moved to Milan. And I feel like if I would never do that, I would never be here. So now that I turn back, I feel like it's incredible decisions that I made.
You said in the book, you said, sometimes in order to succeed, you must be willing to take risks. How did the risks early on as a model prepare you for life as the First Lady?
I think nothing prepared me more to be First Lady in front of the world than the fashion industry. The fashion industry, it's glamorous, but it's at the same time very tough. And as everybody judges you, look at you a certain way. So it can be mean world as well. So nothing prepared me more for this world than fashion. It gives you a thick skin.
So it was August 27th, 1996, and you had this modeling contract. You have 2 suitcases, a carry-on, and a passport. That is all you brought with you to America.
And my portfolio.
And your portfolio.
That was very important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You need to find a job. So 10 years, and you hit the ground running. You didn't even go to your apartment. You immediately went to work.
Correct.
Tell us about that.
Well, when I arrived to New York City, I still remember it was Tuesday afternoon, early afternoon. I went directly from the airport to the agency. So I start right away. You sign the contract, they copy your portfolio, and you start. So it was an exciting time.
So 10 years later, after arriving here, you find yourself raising your right hand and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and becoming an American citizen. You had no idea at that moment you would go on to become the First Lady of the United States of America. What did that day, becoming a citizen, mean to you?
I was very proud. I went through the process, and that day was a big celebration. Was very, very proud.
So meeting Donald Trump, how did you meet him?
We met at a party, and you could read a whole chapter in the book.
Yes, you were at the Kit Kat Club, and
Yes.
there was that moment of connection. And then you refused to give him your number, and you asked for his number, and you went on a modeling shoot in the Caribbean. And while you're down there, you couldn't stop thinking about him. And so you came home, and you called him. What happened?
We went on the first date, if you could call it a date.
Because it was mixed with professionalism too,
Correct,
right?
and I completely understand now that I know him more.
Yes.
It was so him. And I liked in one way about it because I was the same, and I love the vision that he had and the connection that we had. So it was very special.
You get in the car and he drives you to Bedford and outside of the city, an hour outside of the city, and he wanted to show you a business or some property that he had.
Mm-hmm.
So he was combining business with taking you on a first date.
And it was very nice because we were 2 of us alone in the car for hour and a half. And it's no other noise, no other people, because at that time he was already known and a celebrity. So it was really nice to be just 2 of us.
Yes. Did you fall in love then?
It was a connection.
Mm-hmm.
It was a connection.
Mm-hmm. You said our chemistry was undeniable. Our connection felt natural. In private, he revealed himself as a gentleman, displaying tenderness and thoughtfulness. Did he ever say to you in those early stages, or even in that first car ride, I'm going to be president one day?
No, we didn't discuss. That time not.
Did he tell you
But
eventually?
soon-
Did you know
but
politics?
soon later, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, soon later.
So
Not that he would be the president, but he always was involved in politics. He was very in tune what's going on in the world, and especially in this country.
6 years into the relationship, it's April of 2004, and he proposes to you.
Well, first of all, it was my birthday as well. And it was a Met Gala. So it was all in one. We were all ready at home, both of us in black ties. So he proposed that time.
Describe your wedding day. It was January 22nd, 2005. It was almost a year after you were engaged, and you got married at Bethesda by the Sea, beautiful church down in Palm Beach, and then the reception at Mar-a-Lago. What was that day like for you and your family and your mom?
It was an exciting day, a busy day. As every bride, you want to make sure everything goes smoothly, and it went. We had a good day.
I'm sure. There was a touching story in the book about the baptism candle. Your mom brought this over from Slovenia. It was the candle that was lit in the church when you were baptized. You lit it at your wedding, and then you lit it again when Barron was baptized. And you still have it, I assume.
I still have it. Interesting, I was baptized on Donald's birthday.
Really?
June 14.
Wow.
The dates
Yeah.
connects.
Yes.
So my mother, she thought about it and she brought it here to the United
sweet.
States.
And you say in the book about becoming a mother, you said, I stepped back from public life, no longer wanted the glamorous photo shoots and the jet-setting lifestyle, and my career took a back seat. Was that a hard change for you?
It was not,
No, why?
because I had a different purpose in life.
Best day of your life when they put the baby in your arms?
Something changes.
Yes.
Yeah, something changes.
There's a picture in the book, and you're working at the desk, and you have Barron in one of those small little motorized cars. Books, his children's books are all over the floor. You have your papers all over the desk. And I looked at that picture and I said, this is a working mom's life. We can all relate to this. Everything's chaotic, everything's hectic, but it's so much fun. And everyone tells us to enjoy those moments because they're fleeting and your kids grow up and it just flies by. When you look at that picture, what was happening in that moment?
When I see it, that was the time that I did QVC collection, my jewelry.
Which
and
sold out in
timepieces.
45 minutes.
It did, yes, was very successful. So I was doing all at the same time, working, playing with Baron. He has his own time with, his car and his books, and we talking. So I think it's very important that we show our children that we are working too, to give them an example how life is, that they see us, that we are productive, that we have an ideas, that ideas comes to life. And that's how I was showing to Baron.
And did you and Donald Trump, did you ever talk about having more children? Did you want a larger family?
I was always perfectly fine with one. And Donald was encouraging to have more. And I said, I'm completely fine with one because it's very busy life. And I know how busy he is, and I'm in charge of everything. So that's why it's just perfect.
So Donald was on Brian Kilmeade's show last weekend, and Brian was asking him about your relationship, and he said, Brian, she really, really does love me.
I do believe she loves her husband. That's probably the biggest surprise to a lot of people, come to think of it, but she loves her husband.
So what do you love most about your husband?
His being, his humor, his personality, his kindness. He's very special. His positivity, his energy, it's unbelievable. So we have a beautiful relationship.
We see these clips of Donald Trump giving a lady at the cash register $100 to pay for her groceries. The little boy with a rare disease, he invites him to the rally in New York, and the little boy cries when he receives a letter on his birthday from Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump calls all the service members, their family members, when they lose their lives. These are stories that a lot of people, you're not going to see this on other networks. Is that the man he is?
That's the man he is, yes.
One word to describe him, what would that be? One or two words?
Caring especially for this country.
And what do the two of you like to do for fun if you're not working?
To have dinner, sometimes quiet dinner or dinner with friends and listen to the music, all kind of different musics.
I hear he likes to be the DJ.
He likes to be the DJ, and it's very fun night when he does that.
When you married Donald Trump, he already had 4 children, and you talk about that in the book, and it would seem so fun to have just so much life and children around you. You said, I gave everyone their own space, grounded in love and respect. You didn't always agree, but acknowledged differing viewpoints. So what advice do you have for blended families?
To take individual as they are. You cannot control anyone. You could control only your own behavior, your own words. Everybody is in control of own self. I'm not in control of my husband. I'm not in control of his children. I'm not even in control of my child. He's his own person, and we all have yes and no's, and we are all individuals. Once you lead your life with respect and love, that's all what it matters.